minute ago, we did some negative reviews and how to respond to them. We've got a doozy this week, an absolute doozy. Let me give you the backstory, then I'll give you the review, and then we put it out to our Instagram fam for possible responses, some of them politically correct, some not. And I got to tell you, our followers are far funnier than I am. If I could have them write all my jokes, this podcast would be much, much more entertaining. But
I never thought that I would hear you say Instagram fam. This is what a world we live in.
I mean, the responses, I felt like it was family. It was like sitting around a dinner table and everybody just throwing it up. But yeah, this was great. So the review is, let me give you the backstory, then I'll give you the review. Right now.
What a dramatic pause, Doug.
Customer was interested in a 996 Targa. Couple weeks of back and forth. At one point, he didn't even respond to our sales guy for a week. So, real hot lead, right?
He didn't want that too bad.
Yes. And asked a bunch of questions. Sales guy sent him a bunch of photos, et cetera, et cetera. They talked about inspections. He wanted to come see it. Our standard deposit policy is as follows. It's a deposit to hold the vehicle for specific contingencies outlined in the contract. The price is agreed upon, and it's a 5-day maximum hold, right? If you can't get your crap together in 5 days, then whatever. You're not going to buy the car. There's exceptions, but that's our standard policy.
Well, and I feel like even with like delays and moving some money around and stuff, like 5 days is an ample amount of time.
Sure. And again, there's specific like, oh, hey, well, I've got this approval letter from the bank, but shoot, I needed this document a couple extra days. Fine. Stuff like that. But it's really, honestly, it's to prevent issues like this guy where people want to drag out a deal just for the sake of dragging it out. And it's a wonderful policy because it prevents the tire kickers, the perpetual tire kickers. Not to say that everybody that takes longer 5 days to perform their due diligence is not a real buyer, but like using the box and whisker plot, like,
stats.
Yeah, they're the outliers. Okay. So he was not ready to conclude the deal. We informed him about the deposit, said, here's our policy. He's like, well, I can't come until next Tuesday, so I can't put a deposit down because that's more than 5 days, but I want to order a Lemon Squad inspection. We're like, that's fine. You can do that. Like you can have an inspection done, but like we need a deposit in order to hold the car, to secure the car. And he didn't want to do that. And didn't place a deposit, finally ordered the Lemon Squad inspection, informed us that he did. We didn't get any word from Lemon Squad, though. So it's basically like the equivalent of some guy saying, hey, I'm sending my buddy over to look at it in a couple days, right? Like, that's cool. That doesn't mean you're buying the car. And we had discussed price and loosely agreed upon price. But again, there was no formal deal, formal agreement. No, I am buying this car for this price as long as Lemon Squad checks out and I'm ready to place a deposit. None of that. No commitment on his end. Within the same day he ordered the Lemon Squad inspection, somebody else who had also had an inspection done placed a deposit and then wired money within 48 hours. So it's actually kind of wonderful. I love the poetic justice when a tire kicker gets, booted. And I did not plan the kicking and booting thing, but that was yeah, accidentally brilliant. And he lost his ever-loving mind, basically saying, we had a deal, blah, blah, blah. This is not going to end well for you guys.
Ooh, scary.
Okay, we didn't have a deal. Even if there's an agreement on price, there wasn't an agreement on terms, and there's definitely not anything signed, and there was no deposit, and you had an opportunity to place a deposit, and you still wanted to come see the car after the inspection. You couldn't make it happen in time. So sorry, you lost. So here's his review. 1 star. Probably would have given us 0, but that wasn't an option. And his name, this is important, his name is Adam Yellen. As soon as you order an inspection, they start lying. Dirty car salesmen just lying and avoiding inspections.
That is exactly what I know you to be, Doug. This Adam Yellen has seen it. His own eyeballs.
Right. So, yeah. And I will say this before we go too far. The majority of our negative feedback or our issues with customers has been, honestly, when two people wanted a car and one customer felt slighted because they thought that they had a deal or communicated their intentions to buy the car, but didn't place a deposit and got sold out. We do roast those customers because, like, if, right, like the first guy, cash talks, BS walks, whatever. But I will say this as well. Just because I have a platform doesn't make me right. It's easy for me to have this one-sided thing of like, let's roast this guy. But we have had hours of conversation internally regarding this exact situation. And even though it's like the vast exception, it's always the most difficult people, we have said, how do we make these people understand better? Even though we feel like we spelled it out for them in plain English.
English? Whoa. Well, there's your problem, Doug. There. My goodness.
Yes. I feel like we're on The Princess Bride. Marriage. Anyway, we feel like we spell it out to them. Like, we did revise our policy and we did write a standardized script that when people get to this point and they haven't placed a deposit, it's like, boom, copy, paste, send it to them so there can be absolutely no confusion that the car is not yours just because you said you wanted to buy it or are making moves in that general direction. So we did take a look in the mirror. This is not just a let's dump on the customer. We're always right because we're the car dealer. No, we're always trying to improve. With that said, let's dump on this customer.
Before we do that, I do think, and I feel like we've talked about this before, like buying a car is a huge thing. And I think for a lot of people, some people could be coming to you never having really purchased a car outside of like a typical dealer where you walk in and they hold you hostage for 6 hours and send you to the finance department and this whole business. Like buying a car from a dealership like Switchcars is, I think, slightly different. And if you're inexperienced, you can think these weird things. Now, we're still going to dunk on this person because I think they deserve it, because you need to do your research, people.
Right. But if you're buying a house... Do you have an inspection done without earnest money? No.
Well, and that's what, for some reason, people just seem to think that like, well, I need an inspection because the internet told them they needed an inspection, and they think that saves them. I mean, it does.
Have an inspection. Put a deposit down.
Yeah. Because you should know if you want the car. I was really nervous once, but when I bought my 968, I was like, I know I want this car. We talked about price. It was fine. I was like, I can wire you a deposit. And they were like, denied. They're like, no, we know you. We know who you are. We know you want the car. The inspection will get done tomorrow. It's fine. And that made me uncomfortable.
Here's the thing. If they had then sold the car out from under you, you would have a valid complaint because they refused the deposit. We never refused the deposit from this guy. He just didn't like our terms. He wanted to place a deposit, but on his terms.
Yes. So it's not. Anyway, let the dunking begin. Lots of comments. Don't be yelling at me. Why you yelling, Adam? So good.
Yes, and by the way, we're not violating privacy rules here. He put his name. That's his Google public right there. I'm reading from Google reviews. Look it up. Adam Yellen.
There are a lot of somebody referenced the house thing. You don't have a home inspection without putting the house under contract. Lots of good advice. We're going to ignore that for now because it's not funny.
What are the ones that I couldn't respond this way? Give me the ones.
Post it on Instagram and let everyone know he's a dummy.
That's what I did.
I love the stop being stupid shrug. Got to be quicker than that. You know, the old commercial with the dude with the fishing pole. He's like, "Ooh, you got to be quicker than that," because it's like for saving money or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Reference that.
Good, deep reference.
Oh, it's a good reference. Ask to do an inspection of his financials or knowledge of how to buy a car.
That would be a good one. Ooh, my favorite. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, our friend Andrew Miller, my favorite response was his, and he said, "Tell him he can inspect D's."
Inspect D's. Somebody said, "Laugh hysterically." Sucks to suck. Explain what a deposit is.
My favorite response, I posted this in the Dealership Life Facebook group where everybody goes to just dump on customers. And the best response there was, can't be sold out from under you if you're not on top of it.
It's so good. My overall favorite, there's a lot of good ones. My overall favorite was, wisdom has always been chasing you, but you've just been faster. It's so good. That is such a cutting insult. Like I'm gonna put that in the bandolier and I want to put that in my pocket. I want to whip it out at some point and just blow somebody's mind.
That's
somebody
really
said
one.
You should provide the inspection of the sold car, which I really like. Here's what you missed out on.
I can't upload photos to my response though. Customers can upload photos with their review, but I can't.
Someone referenced Fast and the Furious at Too Soon Junior, which I love. He
Not
do be
soon
yelling.
Enough.
Just use facts.
All right. So despite all the ways I wanted to respond, I waited one full day at the advice of my wife. She is my self-control. Here's how I responded, right? If you had a valid complaint about our lack of clarity in communicating to you that you had to place a deposit to hold the car, that was an underhanded slam, by the way, I'd be happy to address that. Since you're just slanderously accusing us of lying, I'll tell everyone else what actually happened. And so I told, a paragraph of what I explained to everybody here earlier of what actually happened. And I even spelled out that at the end, we're not afraid of inspections because the other buyer actually had a more thorough inspection. Don't mean to knock Lemon Squad here, but we've had some very average inspections done by Lemon Squad.
Well, and with a 996, you want to make sure your acronyms are taken care of. You got to have that peace of mind.
Well, the IMS had been done already, but the other guy had us scope the bores and do a compression test.
Nice.
So, this guy just wanted a Lemon Squad thing. We did a way more invasive inspection for the guy who ended up wiring money. Here's my closing paragraph. And I told you, Instagram writes my lines for me. I did steal this from one of the suggested responses. I said, Adam apparently has run into this issue before, as after this happened, he communicated to us via text that many other dealers also seem to be afraid of inspection since the cars keep selling as soon as he gets to that point in the deal. What really seems to be the case is that Adam has not learned an age-old lesson in car buying, which is if you ain't first, you're last.
Nice.
He then tried to respond to the review, but you can't respond. You can't have an ongoing dialogue. He updated his original review and he added this phrase: since they responded,
Wait, is that it?
Yes.
There's no more.
That's
nice.
it. Since they responded,
We'll never know.
I'm waiting for him to finish his sentence.
He's too busy yelling.
Well, if you read his name on an official document, it's Yellin' Adam.
Yelling at him.
He didn't type it in all caps, though, so not a Corvette buyer. All right, our ever popular license plate game. Guess the stereotype. We did have a suggestion for the naming of the game, which was plate to sample.
Ooh.
PTS.
Oh. Thank you, whoever you are. That's amazing.
Like that?
Plate to sample.
Fence,
so good.
You like?
No,
all right.
I like it.
All right.
And it lets us slyly make fun of PTS. Everybody who calls their thing PTS.
Yes. So the game is, and this brought to you by Alan Hoover of Soul and Spine. That was his suggestion. The game is, we're going to read off a license plate. Forget about guessing what it means, because typically they're pretty obvious. We're trying to guess what the car is, if it matches up, how good we are at stereotypes. So, Tyler, you get to start.
First one I got for you is Sick 66. All of mine, by the way, dear listeners, are from SwitchCast.live. You can head on over to the website to submit plates to me, because Doug is much more popular than I am and gets messages on Instagram.
You get 10 submissions a day. Okay.
Sick 66, Doug.
66 Chevelle.
No, so close. You were you are in the right
GTO.
vein. You got one more. What?
Pontiac Lamar.
No, it is a Mustang. What looks like a drag car.
You said it was so close. It was,
you're like muscle car-ish.
product. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, all right.
I feel
That's
like
a good plate.
muscle car guys like to put the year of their car on it, though. Like that seems,
Yes.
I've never seen that on anything else.
Well, they're very proud about it because if you ask, like, if you want to seem smart to a boomer, is be able to identify the year of any muscle car because it's like, oh, that was the only year that had the hood tack.
Because they were like
right?
changing them every year in the 60s.
Yes. And that is the nerd knowledge that they care about. So,
all right, what do you got for me?
You could almost offend them, be like, oh man, is that a 65? No, it's a 65 and a half. Don't you know?
Oh my God, the vein popping out of their head.
I'm going to begin with the end here. This is the best one.
Doug can't wait. He's too excited.
I can't wait. Mr. Gucci.
Mr. Gucci. Oh my God. Is this one of those weird, like 30s looking cars, but that's actually like a Buick LeSabre underneath?
I am scared at how close you are.
Seriously?
What the heck?
What is it actually?
Yes,
I don't even know what those are called.
It's like the Bay version of that. Okay, and we have the Facebook Marketplace ad too. We'll put it up for the YouTube viewers. It's a 2006 Chrysler 300 touring sedan, which if you run the Carfax, it retails out at like $5,800. They're asking $14,500,
Oh.
but it is candy brandywine color, aftermarket Rolls-Royce front end, Gucci print designs, Rolls-Royce rim floaters.
Nice.
It is
Wait, does it actually have rolls with wheels on it? With the like floating center caps?
Floating center caps, yeah, but it's
is it the Chrysler logo that
quote
just
unquote
comes on these
custom
days?
interior, all this stuff. It is a very, very poorly done attempt at making a Chrysler 300 look like a Rolls-Royce with a Gucci print interior.
Whew, wild.
But
I'm proud of myself for how, I mean, I was like sort of close.
That was the right ballpark.
Yes. All right. Next for you. I'm faster, missing an E. So it's F-A-S-T-R.
Well, you only can do 7. Yeah. I'm faster. Well, was it an R? Is it a play on an R? Like, is it a Civic type R? Something R?
It's vaguely something R.
Okay.
So not quite as literally as you're thinking. R's in the trim, I guess.
Well, shoot. Now, I was going to say, like, I don't know. I feel like it's some sort of tuner car with a bunch of mods on it, like a Viper, whatever, or Corvette Z06 or something like that.
You're in the right vein.
Drag slicks in the back. Shelby GT500. I'm going to go Shelby GT500.
You got a little further away. It is a modded Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT 8 with like the center pipes in the back that there's like the 700 horsepower like Jeep Cherokee or whatever.
Okay. He has more horsepower, but he's not faster.
Well,
you got to
absolutely
haul all
not.
that weight around.
That's why it's ridiculous.
No. All right.
And who put center exit exhaust? Wait, was that factory? Was the center exit exhaust factory on the SRT8?
I'm not ashamed to say that I don't know because it's a Jeep. Okay. Lucifer with 2 R's instead of an ER at the end.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not sure if that's relevant. It's just, yeah.
Lucifer. So it's a black car because they think they're cool and it's sleek. So this is a C-class Mercedes.
I love when you overthink things, Tyler. It's a Diablo. It's
Oh,
a
really?
Lamborghini Diablo.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Overthinking is the name of the game. It gets me closer than not. Next one for you, Doug. Big Bun.
Ooh, well, it could be a wide body Porsche.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer? You locking it in?
Big Bun.
Big Bun.
Is it the Wienermobile?
It is the Wienermobile.
Wait, but you did the Wienermobile the other day, and it was something different.
Exactly. The Wienermobile has many plates, Doug.
Sounds illegal.
Well,
They've been pulled over for fictitious plates yet? Dang it, I'm good here. I'm good. Rusty Ho.
It's like an F-150 or something old, like an old truck.
How old?
Well, like 80s or 90s. It's all rusty. What?
No.
What is it?
No, it's a 2018 Ford Explorer.
Oh.
Yeah. It is registered in Minnesota, though, so rusty is probably accurate. And as of 2019, it already had 53,000 miles on it.
Moly.
No mileage report since then, but I'm guessing they're racking them up.
Oof. All right. Ew Jorts is the next plate for you.
Corvette.
Yes. What Corvette, though, Doug?
If you said ew jorts, it's probably a C8. Because the C5, C6 guys are actually the ones that fulfill the Corvette curmudgeon stereotype, and the C7, C8 guys are like, yeah, let's make fun of that.
It is a C4. It is very Mark Spence in the jorts with the C4. It's a purple one. He had a white one.
I should have known that. I feel like somebody sent me that one a long time ago.
Oh no. Well, Paul K., you got it in.
I didn't use it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's leaning into the stereotype. Okay. Tree, Tree, Tree RS.
Oh, is that a GT3 RS?
It is.
Okay, that was too obvious. I was going to overthink it again.
But you know why it's
Is it a green one
though? I don't know. No, it's not a green one. That would be a good play. But you know why this is amazing is because the photo of this is of it literally crashed into a bunch of trees.
That's amazing.
No joke.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Self-fulfilling prophecy, that one.
All right. The last one for you, Doug. Depreciate with an 8 at the end.
Oh, it's a Rolls Royce.
No.
Bentley Arnage.
No.
What?
No.
Yes, it is. He sent me that one.
I have a different one.
You have a different one?
I have a different depreciate.
Use that one against you. All right. Like a 2000 Mercedes AMG. No?
This is good. You're going to be so upset when you know what this is.
Okay, fine.
It is a BMW i8. And depreciate i8 is in the plate.
Oh, that's actually brilliant.
It's an awesome plate.
And accurate.
Yeah, so accurate. Things are worthless.
Somebody sent me depreciate, but it was like 2000 Bentley Arnage.
No, that's good. This is better.
That is better. You're right.
Thank you, John V. And thank you, REG, for the first few.
Okay.
Hit me, Doug.
This is not a Vermont plate, surprisingly. 3 lovers.
Whoa. Is it a Utah plate?
I see what you did there.
Well, it obviously has to be a larger vehicle. There's a gang involved. Is it a Ford Explorer?
No.
A Chrysler Town and Country?
No.
What is it?
A Subaru Forester. Come on. I thought I gave you a hint with it's not a Vermont plate.
You did. I was so focused on the poly nature of that I did not. I was confused, Doug.
Yep.
I apologize.
This episode is brought to you by Sheffield All Sport Watches. The Sheffield brand was recently revived by Jay Turkbus, an owner of an original Sheffield All Sport diver he received from his parents in 1970 when he was just 11, beginning his love of watches. As an adult, Jay used his extensive expertise in product development and marketing to revive the brand that started it all. He set out to develop watches with a high level of quality and specification at a value price. His first effort, and a successful one in July of 2023, was the debut of the Sheffield All Sport Diver 1. It had the kind of build and movement that much more expensive watches use, and his debut price of $108 was equivalent to the $13 his parents paid back in 1970. Since that debut, Sheffield has expanded to a wider range of automatics and chronos, many designed around vintage Sheffield dials of the 60s. The Sheffield well of clever and unique design remains his inspiration, as well as maintaining the goal of high quality, very affordable range of automatic and quartz watches. Sheffield Watches, value on merit, not just price. I love mine. Get yours at SheffieldWatches.com and mention that you heard about them on SwitchCast. Thank you for joining us for SwitchCast with Doug Tabbutt and Tyler Sanders, produced by Ethan Huffnagel. SwitchCast is an automotive entertainment and opinion show, and nothing we say should be taken very seriously. We do not give tax, investment, legal, emotional, or professional advice, and the only licenses we hold are driver's licenses. The opinions expressed on this show are exclusively held by the people pontificating at that moment and do not reflect the values of our producers or sponsors. Our theme music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream their full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. If you like this show, you can stream it in its entirety on your favorite audio podcast platform. Check out switchcast.live for more info.